and you say Shy City and around the world. Welcome to another episode of Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. And today, we're about to have a little bit of fun, get it in. We have Miss Alicia Bradford. What's up, Alicia?
Oh, Rodney.
Yeah. My homegirl. We got my homegirl here. Hey, Alicia, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the world? Tell the world a little bit about your background, where you were raised, how you were raised, that type of stuff.
Sure, I am the middle child of nine children, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, in the hood.
Hmm.
Um, I went to Dunbar High School.
Really?
Yes, I did. A
Okay.
mighty woman. I went to the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, so HBCU, I players DST. Ooh.
Okay.
Um, came back home. I went to NEIU for a little bit, Roddy.
You from Northeastern?
Yeah, for a little bit try to do masters in family therapy and
You got
chuck
a lot of secrets, you know
that. I got
that?
it's so many parts to me.
Wow.
That
Wow.
didn't work. Ended up at Chicago State,
Mhm.
doing masters in social work. Now I'm at Loyola University of Chicago in the social work program in my doctoral studies.
Yeah.
Work wise, I have done some of everything, literally. And I now find myself as an executive manager at WeBo Foundation, which funds community organizing here in the Chicago area. I am a mom to an 11-year-old that I love dearly.
Right.
And family is everything to me.
Right. So that's fascinating, Alicia. That's a fascinating beginning. So, what neighborhood did you grow up in?
Right off 43rd in Princeton, they were the row homes, called scatter sites.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my God. You know, I grew up on 53rd and Calumet.
Shut up.
Yeah, so we wasn't far from one another at
At
all, right?
all. Yeah.
Um, what middle school did you go to?
I went to Douglas on 32nd and Calumet
Yeah.
all 8 years.
Okay.
What
Okay.
about you?
I went to Diet.
Okay.
I went to
Yeah.
Burke and then I went to Diet. So
Okay.
yeah, we really in a close vicinity
Yeah.
of one another, right?
Yes.
So Alicia, let me ask you this: what are your values?
Well, my values, I would say the biggest one, each one teach one. I think when you acquire knowledge, acquire direction, acquire purpose, help someone else get there. Always looking back and pulling people forward. And of course, I said already family for sure. Like growing up with nine siblings, all in the same household.
Mm,
I was fortunate enough to grow up with my mom and dad. So like family was everything. And like to the point where as we were adding family members, we didn't really say, "Oh, this is my play cousin, this, anything like that." Like people were our family. Like
right.
I'm close to my sister's best friend, so we just added people. So family is everything to me, and I think being a mom, just
Mm,
being a mom and loving my son and knowing as a black mom the resilience we need to raise a black son. I talk to moms doing research and everyone cues in how important it is to hone in on the role of being a black mom when raising a black son because you're raising them so differently in this world
mhm.
that when I talk to them about their daughters, it doesn't even raise a flag to talk to their daughters about how to get pulled over, how to do this or how to do that. But there's something to raising a black male that I really hold dearly. And that is the thing that probably takes over my mind more than anything else that I do or any other roles that I hold is raising him in this world that I know is built to make him feel like
Yeah,
there's literally things built to keep him always fighting upwards.
I'm glad to hear you say it direct. Wasn't designed in our favor, but yes, it's built to make you fail if you don't pay attention, if you don't have direct instruction.
Yeah.
So that's great stuff, Alicia. Where did you get your early mindset? Who are some of your earliest influences?
The church, that foundation, and as I got older, my intellectual side, fight against that spiritual side. But I think what I hold most is love people. Like, genuinely, if you love people, like, it doesn't matter what religion or spirituality or lack thereof you ascribe to. If you love people, that is showing your work and how you operate with people. And I think for education, my dad did have his bachelor's, so he was early on. He was at the PAT meetings. He was the president of the local schools council at my grammar school and high school. Like, that mattered to him, us and our trajectory in school. So I bought into it. Like, and I saw the people in my lives that I looked up to. They all had their at least their bachelors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I was looking at the agenda for that, I was like, I didn't even realize the people that I saw as mentors and saw as this always had that education piece. So that I naturally was like, okay, I got to get education if nothing else.
The importance of positive imagery.
Yes,
I'm writing
definitely.
about that a little bit.
Yes.
So you presently serve in executive leadership in philanthropy, right? And I was thinking about this. I know a lot of people around the country, hundreds and hundreds of people, right? Um, you're probably the fourth person that I know who works in philanthropy, but you're the very first Black female that I know personally who works in philanthropy. Tell us a little bit about how it is. I mean, how do you navigate that space? Because I know there's not very many of us, but I know you know how to navigate adverse situations because we're doing it together right now, right? We're in the space to
Amen.
where,
Amen.
there are very few Black faces where we are, right? So
Yes.
how do you navigate that space, philanthropy? Can you explain first what philanthropy is?
Sure.
Yeah.
Philanthropy is the funding of whether that's community programs, art,
Mhm.
higher education. Is people, rich people who have money who decide to give back, and they do it in the guise of whether a family foundation or they have organizations that they funnel money through, like the Chicago Community Trust, who they give money to say, I want to fund this type of activity. What, like, and I said, a lot of money goes to art and education. My
Mhm.
organization specifically gives money to organizing, so grassroots programming in communities where communities decide this will help us. Let's see how it might work. So whether it's piloting program or advocating for policy changes within their communities that would directly affect and help their communities grow. Um, so that's what I do. And that one reason I got into it because I saw organizing work as critical to a lot of the changes that we see today. One of those is healthcare. The changes that come about with healthcare came with from grassroots organizing in communities. So I saw a trajectory of organizing leading to real federal policy changes that can help communities grow. And I wanted to be in a space to help those organizations get money.
Wow.
Now, navigating those spaces, it comes down to being able to be philanthropy Alicia, and then being able to be Alicia, like I'm here with you.
Okay.
And that's me owning who I am and knowing what I'm willing to give and what I'm not willing to give in those spaces.
Uh,
So I know they need me to show up as a Black woman, like you just described. So as a Black woman, to them, I'm representing, unfortunately, all Black women, and I know that, and I own that. And in the for me, I'm not trying to change that. I rather create these relationships and these dynamics that get money to my community than actively be in a space of trying to change the problem at the point of where I feel a need to be accepted. I don't need to be accepted. I need my communities to get their money. So I could actively put energy into making you accept me or buy into. I can come into all shapes and forms, or I can build this relationship with you where you put in $50 million into the community next year.
yeah.
And so that's where I kind of work from, is like, I know what my community needs, and I can be who I need to be in front of you to get my community what they need to be, and I still have my space in my community to be fully me.
You know what? I'm so proud of you because that's a high level of emotional maturity. You see, This is just business. This ain't personal.
Exactly.
Right? We have needs that have to be met. And
Yes.
for so long we've been neglected, and now you're in a position to where you can funnel some money into our communities, and you're gonna make it happen by any means
Any
necessary.
means
My
necessary.
hat is off to you. I'm so proud of you. I knew you were special, though. I knew you were special. You know, hey, I'll be seeing you, man. We're in a very, very similar situation in the
Yeah.
same space. We're just a year apart, right? So,
Yeah.
you
Yes.
know. So fill us in on your proudest moment as a philanthropist.
So I've been in this role for about 2 years, and like I said, my organization specifically funnels money into organizing. But unfortunately, a lot of other funders do not feel like organizing space is safe to fund because they directly correlated to big movements. They directly correlated to protests, movements that were happening under George Floyd or riots. That's what funders directed towards, or people saying support Black Lives Matter, or it needs to be saying one thing where we're saying Black Lives Matter and saying we don't like the police. Those aren't the same sentences. But unfortunately, funders correlated to the same sentence because that's the media narrative. So funders often stray away from support organizings because it is confrontational at times. So I wanted to try to have our organization get other funders to buy in.
Okay.
So we've been working on a communication strategy specifically to target other funders, board members, to understand how organizing is not just about community strength, but it actually breeds leaders. So these are people who are fighting for things that they need, directly affecting them or their communities. And while doing so, they're getting direct leadership and training about how to lead, how to govern, understand policies in their community, how to activate, how to become rather city councilmen, go to boards, work on this type of board, whether the water reclamation board. They know where to intervene to make changes in their community. And that's the type of leadership and training that organizing puts into our communities. And it should be funded and not necessarily just for the issue, but for how organizing grows people that might be there in a voluntary role. And next thing you know, they're leading and the person talking in front of ABC7 News about that issue. Or they're the person that's a congressman right now because they activated early on about something that affected their community and got the training and guides to know how to move through politics to get roles and leaderships to make actual changes in the community. And that's what organizing does beyond just being loud and be showing up in the streets as protests. It's training people to fight for themselves and become activated in their community, in the politics and policies that affect their community.
Yeah. Yeah, and protests are necessary and radicalism is necessary, but we also need powerful voices on the macro level. So I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. I teach policy, so
Yeah.
I get it. And we're in a construct that wasn't designed with us in mind. And so we have to be innovative in our strategies, and we have to know how to navigate these systems. Speaking of navigating systems, as a Black woman, you know, in a PhD program in 2026 who's approaching, your comps and your dissertation. Uh, how has it been navigating that particular system? Because, like I said earlier, there are not very many of us uh, in those spaces, people that look like us, right? And so this is important. I had to intentionally ask you that question in case, a little Black girl sees this. So how is it navigating that
Oh,
space? How has it been?
I'm gonna talk to the little Black girl.
Yeah.
Um, White liberals are white liberals. Like, understand who white liberals are.
Mhm.
They have this ideology of what understanding is, and then there's this system that they uphold religiously. And sometimes they don't understand the system they're upholding, but that's where I don't like social work.
Mm.
Because how can you constantly preach about inequities, disparities, but don't see the system that you are actually upholding in social work to leave people burdened, constantly fighting up and being able to say, okay, I can fight for myself. You pat them on their head saying it's cute, the good job. And that's all you need from them. Like there's no change coming in our communities because white liberals are just proud enough to say that they gave to the fight.
Right.
So not finishing the fight though.
Woo.
So understanding that white liberals are white liberals and I am the queen of saying we need our own.
Yeah.
Like stop fighting for us for spots in their spaces.
Right.
That's their space.
Right.
That's something they built for themselves. We don't, that's not where we exist, and that's not where we should continually fight to exist. It's built for them. They're barely in it right now. Like they're fighting to exist in it right now, based on our current political atmosphere.
Right.
So if they're fighting to fit it, they're not built to bring us along.
Yeah.
We need to create our own spaces. So get their education and bring it back to our communities and support our community, little black girl, because trying to fight for space within their spaces, you're going to put burden on yourself. That's not unnecessary. And our community going to be the same way while you're trying to fight up. So get what you can in their space and bring it back to ours and build us.
We got Alicia Bradford in the place to be, baby. Yes, absolutely. And guess what, Alicia? You're absolutely right. Those are their spaces. America is their space. I
Yes.
mean, we're witnessing it in real time. They will let one of their own drive this place off of a cliff. But
Yes.
guess what is our space? Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. Yeah. So, Alicia, what are you presently working on?
You already know, getting ready for these comps in the fall, finishing out my PhD program and looking to learn more about research. So I'm always uplifting my community. And one thing I really want to focus on in the organizing space is building out this media campaign to get other funders to buy into it.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your future aspirations?
To have a consulting firm to help organizing uh agencies as they start out be able to do the background work because a lot of things default because people don't know the administrative side. And it's cool. I don't need you to, I can help you build that out, get that set and let you fly. I've been through a lot of non-for-profits that faltered because of the administrative side. So I learned that stuff so they don't have to necessarily go back get MBAs and all like that and support them in building those structures out so these programs can sustain throughout bed management because I think that's the problem. We have so many organizations pop up because everyone has a great idea, but they don't have the administrative knowledge to sustain these great ideas to know that that grant may not be funded the same. So you need to produce loans and capital within your agency to sustain past grant and if you're federal or state funded, you know those things fluctuate with the political market. So if the community has gone dependent on you, you need to be a great steward of that dependence and create other funnels of money coming to your agency to support your community. So I want to be able to support agencies in understanding that and building those infrastructures out.
How very important. And ironically, we have organizations under fire right now because they didn't take the time to learn the intimate details of how to navigate those dynamics that you just so
Yeah,
beautifully articulated, right? And they're talking about all of these billions and billions of dollars that they put out into these organizations after people fought for us to have a seat at the table. And once we got the seat at the table, many of us didn't prepare ourselves a lot like we
exactly.
talked about, right?
Exactly.
And oh my goodness, yes, we need people like you to help with that because uh, right now there are far-reaching implications because they've put this on the news and
Yes.
there are people under fire. There could be some jail time associated with this.
Yes.
Um, so what you're talking about is very necessary. We need people that's willing to prepare themselves. You know, a good idea is not the end all be all.
Exactly.
You have to dot your I's and cross your T's. There's a lot of work that goes uh, into the nonprofit sector. And if you think you're about to get rich, one of my friends told me a long time ago, you think you're about to get rich in the nonprofit sector, you got another thing coming. You better have some multiple streams of income coming
Exactly.
in, and you're not going to get a whole lot of rest, right? It's not
Yeah.
what people think it is. How important is mentorship, Alicia?
Mentorship is everything. It's access. It's that each one teach one. And I think for me, what I've seen from the people who have provided me mentorship is them giving me seats at tables that I would never have been able to sit at before. So I think too, that's one of the things that the DEI is so under attack for is because of the access it's provided marginalized communities, like not just going to a certain Harvard. No, it's the access that I got to the people at Harvard, their family members, these relationships that I built. So I think the access that mentorship provides is everything.
Yeah. What does Alicia read in your spare time? Because I already know. Ain't no time right now. I know that.
So nothing, nothing right now because
Woo.
spare time is what?
Yeah, yeah. What type of music do you listen to?
Uh, Neo soul heavy right now. I'm also listening to I do rap, but like Wale rap. So rap
Oh
Wale
yeah,
album is on repeat right now, his newest one. Um, Leon Thomas for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Guys, talk to the ladies, by the way. I'm on to you, Alicia. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Lisa, do us a favor. Give a message to the up and coming PhD candidates, philanthropists, and all of our young people.
Trust yourself and trust in your happiness. Like
Mm,
this world gonna keep ticking, keep rolling.
yeah.
You're responsible for your happiness. Like I know people want to make money, people want to like, but if you're not happy, what's the point?
Mhm.
Trust yourself and trust your happiness.
Yes. Hey, Alicia, you know what? I'm so proud of the relationship that we've been able to develop and how we, support one another. Uh, and we don't like violate that trust. We kind of like know that we can reach out to one another when if
Mhm.
we need to do so. And,
Yeah.
and and it's just so beautiful because you don't see it very often. What's your take on our relationship?
Rodney, from the moment Aaron gave me your number, I'm like, let me reach out to him. I'm like, Rodney, stay busy. Stay busy. But ever since you've been so genuine and like there's never been a point that I've interacted with you where I've ever had to hesitate or bite my tongue or not even feel like I couldn't be me. So I definitely appreciate like from day one you've been genuine. And as a black male in this space, like I really commend you for holding this space and being who you are in all that means and I digest that and it allows me to say, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It allows me to be Alicia too. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I remember because we took at least one class together. And I remember this professor asking about my research, and I told him when I wasn't at liberty to reveal that at the present time. And I remember some of the looks that I got, but they didn't have the inside information that we have.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
sometimes you just got to stand up and take ownership of who you are and what you are and the direction that you're going in. But in order for you to do that, you got to know a little bit about your history. So,
Yeah.
so I'm so proud of you, Alicia. I am so, so proud of you. You make this thing look easy. I know it's not easy because I'm doing it too, right? You make it look easy. You have my continued support. Call me whenever you need me. Keep
Thank you.
smiling, and every day is not the same. So, just try to wake up and do a little bit. You might not be able to do as much as you did yesterday, but just do a little bit. Just put one foot in front of the other and surround yourself with the correct people as you have been doing.
Yeah.
So, for our final segment, I always like to afford our guests an opportunity to tell a story of their choice. Now is your time, big or small. I got a story to tell is the name of this segment. Tell us a story, Alicia.
I don't think I have a story, but I'm going to tell you about my dad. My dad, we grew up, he never liked chocolate. This was
Really?
just his thing. He never liked chocolate. It was weird. So he ended up separating from my mom, and he used to invite us over and cook for us. He made this chocolate cake, and one thing we wasn't worried about was that chocolate cake not being there, right? Because he doesn't eat chocolate.
Right.
So I remember going back over there. I'm like, Dad, where's the chocolate cake? Where's the chocolate? He's like, Alicia, I was sleeping. That cake was just calling my name. Like, Billy, Billy. I'm like, what? You don't eat chocolate cake? He's like, it was just calling my name. He's like, I got a little bit. And next thing I know, I was cutting off slices all through the night.
I thought you didn't like chocolate, bro.
Thought you didn't like chocolate cake.
Wow, man. Wow. Oh my God. All right, Alicia. Well, thank you so much for taking our time from your busy schedule to sit with us here on Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. I plan to continue to make us proud. We got some huge coming up. I don't think I told you about our big trip to Africa. Did you hear about that?
No.
You got to send you the information. We're taking a group of people to Africa uh, over the course of June of next year. June of
Okay,
next year. It's going to be, we're going to 3 cities for 10 days. I'll send you the information.
definitely. I'll be there.
Okay. For Alicia Bradford, I am the Kid Rod Allen. This has been another episode of Chicago's ILLectuals podcast. Thank you, Alicia. Peace.
Peace.
All right. All right.